worker cells. They have plenty of space. Worker cells would be what they draw. If they're in the mode to swarm, they will fill it full of drones, because drones are very important to a colony, because they're the other half of the genetics. They are, to me, I think sometimes they get the bad rep about being unimportant, but they're extremely important. And so they will fill this full of drones if they're going to swarm. If they're needing storage for honey, they'll draw out and fill this full of honey. So it's a real neat little tool to understand what's going on in your hive.
Do you put that on the end? You
Sir?
put it on the end?
No, sir. No, I take it. I don't put it in the center. It's usually like number three frame. And the reason I don't put it in the center because it's where the brood is. I try to keep my brood concentrated in the center. And it seems to work for us, and it's a way of telling just exactly. If you want to know what's going on in the house, throw that in there. And learn to watch your landing board. If you see bees out there that are just really not doing nothing, you need to get in that hive and look and make sure you've got a queen. Because at certain times of year, if there's no drones for the queens to mate with, or they went out and they mated and there's no drones, they come back, your colony can be declining pretty rapidly. And so, because the queen couldn't mate, there wasn't any drones, and the bees become what my granddaddy would call depressed, and they'll just wander around aimlessly, not doing anything. Because why do something if you know you're going to die? I mean, their colony is doomed, and so they'll just won't do a whole lot of anything. And some people ask, well, how do I know if I have a laying worker? Well, remember, Bob was talking about bee biology earlier, how the queen has a long abdomen, and when she deposits an egg, it'll be in the bottom of the cell. A new queen who hasn't got her stride yet sometimes will deposit 2 eggs or so in the bottom of the cell. A laying worker has a short abdomen and therefore cannot go to the bottom of the cell and will lay on the sides of the wall of the cell, sometimes multiple eggs. So if you see multiple eggs on the side of the wall, then you've got a laying worker. There's techniques, check with some of the older beekeepers here. They will tell you how to get that laying worker out and put you another queen in. If you have a queen that has failed, and you cannot find her, and you throw another queen in there in a cage, and they release her, but yet the old queen is still there, they will kill that new queen. So if you think you've got a queen that's failing, you need to locate her. One way you can find out if she's there, what side of the hive she might be on. It's summertime, the entrance reducer's out. If you'll watch the front of the hive, where the bees go in and out, is a pretty good indication of what side that queen's going to be in. If they go in over here, she's going to be probably on this side of the hive, so it's a little bit easier to find. And if you take a queen excluder, this is the only time you use a queen excluder. Well, checking packages that count, but if you put a queen excluder on top of here, and then set your other box on top, you go back in 3 days and look for freshly laid eggs. It's going to be either in this box or this box. Because after 3 days, you'll be able to see those little eggs. And the way to see the eggs is hold that frame up with the sun to your back. And remember, those cells are put in at 4 to 5 degree angle. Kick it out a little bit away from you and hold it up. Ideally, hold it up over the hive. And look and see, in the bottom of that cell, you'll see a little piece of about the length of a big grain of rice, but a little bit smaller, maybe about the size of a pencil lead. And that's one way to tell where that queen is, and then you'll be able to find her, and then you'll mash her. And believe it or not, within 20 to 30 seconds, they will know that queen is dead. I don't know how they do it. Some people say it's pheromones. I don't know. And then at that point, you can set that other queen in and leave that cork and the candy in for 2 days. Then pull that cork out. We got a ghost in here. Pull that cork out, and then they will eat her out for about 2 to 3 days. Bees have a 3-day memory. If you were to go ahead and put that queen in there, they would kill her without some time to get acquainted with her. Bees, like I said, have a 3-day memory. If you have a hive right here, and you want to move it over there, go in there at late afternoon, close off the front, right before dark, pick your hive up, take it down here, set it down. Leave it closed till the evening of the 4th day. Go out there, remove that screen, they'll never go back. All this stuff we're telling you is stuff that we've done over the years. I've been very fortunate to have some good teachers, like my granddaddy, Don Cookermaster. Y'all may know him as Fat Bee Man, if you go on the internet. Joe Sides. So talk to these older guys. They know some things that you never even think about. You know there's a right and a left to foundation. If it wasn't important, bees wouldn't do it in nature. Everything that we do in our hives, we try to mimic nature because we found that, hey, these girls have been doing it a long time and it's very successful. So if you look at your foundation, pull it up, where those 3 platelets come together to form the bottom structure of the cell. If you look at the bottom of it, there is a Y. On one side, turn it around to the other side, now that Y is upside down. In nature, they always put the upside down Y to the center of the hive. Just like that. And if you notice, in foundation, you will find that when you have good, smooth foundation, you pay attention to that. You ever seen foundation that look washboardy or wavy? That's the reason why. I'm going to pass this around and show you the difference. So this is just an example of what I'm talking about, foundation being real smooth. Feel how smooth that is. And look at the cell size difference of the foundation. And then I'm going to pass this around and let you look at it on the side opposite of the cleat. The cleat is that little piece of wood right here. It's a correct Y. There's a Y, just like that. And on the other side, the Y is upside down. Pass that around.
Which way does the Y go to the center now?
The upside down Y. So you see the 3 plate that's coming together right here? There's a leg, 2 arms. Turn it over. Now, there's upside down. Arms are down, legs up.
Y needs to go.
Upside down Y, all the way to the inside the hive.
Mr. Johnson, you ain't really got to worry about the Y, you just go by the cleat, do you?
Well, it depends. Kelly sometimes will run a new person in the milling, the wax over there, and they put it in backwards. And we've talked with them the last couple of years, and I think they've got it straightened out, but I haven't checked any of the new wax.
If it's the wax with the wire, the little wire thing comes out and you don't put it in a certain way.
But you just turn the frame around.
The frame, you just
Yeah,
turn
but
the
I'm
frame.
talking about the wax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you say if you have some wax that's if you get use a wedge top bar like this, most companies will always have that upside down Y to the inside because that little piece of wire there hooks in there and then the wedge holds that wire in. But don't take it for granted that it's that wide. Check it yourself. If they don't have it in there correctly, take you a pen or a pencil and make you a mark at each end, on the side here, of where the Y, the correct way to go to the center of the hive. You know, this, if it wasn't important, they wouldn't do it all the time. It's just like if you're right-handed and somebody puts you on a machine that's designed for a left-handed individual, then your production's going to be slower. And the same way with bees. It's very important. If it wasn't, they wouldn't be doing it. So I encourage you to think about working with bees and giving them what they need. One thing that may save your hive one day, because I made plenty of mistakes, learn to carry this hive tool. If you use this type of hive tool, it can be your best friend or a nightmare. And if you take and put it in your pocket like this, like that, and you forget it's there, and you go to sit down in your truck or your car, outlying yard, you're just going to rip a hole in that seat. And if you're using Mama's car, she ain't going to be happy at all. So I encourage you, learn to carry your hive tool facing against your body like that. It won't hurt you. And so if you sit down in the car, you're not going to tear that seat or the truck. It's little things like that where people have made mistakes. You get a hive tool, it's really sharp. It's going to be real sharp. I encourage you to take it, the edge, get a time tool on concrete, on the edge right here, because it can cut you. Got a scar right there to show you how to do it. And there are two different types of beekeepers. Those with bad backs and those who don't get it. So I encourage you to think about it. You know, use it. And when you go to set your box down, don't go like that. Because when you do that, you're going to mash bees. Take that box, you beekeepers, gently brush it back and forth, let it down, and then when you go to line it up, don't sit there and try to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Take your 2 fingers, these are perfect line-up tools. Go down each side, grab the corners, perfect line. It's easy, it speeds you, go through the hive. You start off, you're going to be real slow, but pretty quick. Mike can tell you, he can go through his hive really fast now. It's experience, and you will make mistakes. And so I encourage you to get out there, fool with them, and to not worry about, oh, well, am I going to goof up? You will goof up. But it is something that you can be enjoyed. And if you get stung, like, I can't think, Wilkie, yeah, like he was talking about, scrape that stinger out. And if you find you're allergic to bees and you swell up, think about this. Look and see about getting a natural liver cleanse. Believe it or not, the liver is a filter for the body. And it builds up. We take Tylenol, Advil, things like that. They fill the liver. So if you get some of that stuff cleaned out, your toxicity will be reduced on bee sting. Been there, done that. I used to take cortisone shots years ago because I love bees. And I just love the bees. I just wanted food with them. So my wife did a little research and found that about the liver, and it worked for us. And it's important to look at your bees as a living organism. These little girls will take and build up, as a rule, 18-inch dome shape. In other words, it'll be an upside-down bowl. Their brood chamber will be. And never, never split that brood chamber. If you take and go splitting that brood chamber, you're upsetting the balance of that hive. And the only time that we move anything as far as between the boxes is the second year. You've had your bees, you start your bees this year, goes around to next spring. That bottom box is going to be empty. So about usually, I think around March 1st, thereabouts, that bottom box will be totally empty. You'll need to go in there, take the top box off because your brood is up here. They go over winter.